What's up, folks? Welcome back. How's it going? How you guys doing? We're back with Zip Hearing for another real user video review. Today, we have another familiar gray box from Oticon, and we're gonna be checking out the new Oticon Intent. As usual, let's get some stuff out of the way. Number one, this video is not sponsored by Oticon. They have no idea that I'm doing this video. They didn't send me the hearing aids to review. I have no liability to say good or bad things about these hearing aids. No one gets to check my work before it's loaded. So these are going to be truthful and honest reviews. Second, I am a real user of Zip Hearing. I bought my Phonak Lumity 90s from them and saved thousands of dollars compared to what my audiologist was quoting me on. So I am thankful for Zip Hearing and all the opportunities that they have presented me in terms of saving money on my hearing aids, and as well as getting to check out some pretty cool new tech from companies, from other hearing aids, from other devices. So again, thank you, Zip Hearing. And if you guys want to check out Zip Hearing and save some money, save some dollars on your hearing aids, do me a favor, click here. Click here in this area. There'll be a link to Zip Hearing that you guys can check it out. So here's some quick background on my hearing loss. I have a mild sensory neural hearing loss that was diagnosed by my audiologist, and I was suggested to check out some hearing aids. I was able to test out some different brands. I think I tried out some Widex. I think I tried out Oticon. I tried out Phonak, and ultimately I landed on the Phonak Lumity 90s. One of my biggest complications in terms of my hearing loss is the inability to hear things I want to hear in loud environments. And doing what I do for a living, which is not videos. Actually, I work in schools, and I have a lot of conversations in noisy environments with teachers, staff members, students. It's really necessary for me to be able to hear them when they're talking to me in a noisy environment. And that's where the hearing aids came in. That is not my only issue when it comes to hearing loss, but it's definitely on the top of the list. Now, before we dive into today's video with Oticon Intent, I do want to preface the video by saying this. I am going to approach these hearing aids in this review with two different hats on, per se. I want to address it as a new hearing aid user, right? Someone who maybe has never tried hearing aids before, or maybe this is your first set of legitimate hearing aids. And I also want to approach it from the point of view of maybe someone who's upgrading, or maybe someone who's used hearing aids before and is trying to find something new that may fit them better. The reason I want to do this will become evident as the review rolls on, but I can assure you it is not for a bad reason. This is going to be for the benefit of everyone involved. Also, we don't have a lot of tech accessories involved with this today, so really our focus is going to be on the hearing aids themselves and the hearing aid experience. Also, we do have a little special segment somewhere in the video regarding phone call audio quality. So I know a lot of you guys are I wouldn't say concerned, but a lot of you guys, that's a main thing you're looking for, right? How does it sound when I'm on the phone? Does it sound weird? Does it sound good? And I'm gonna show you, or actually I'm gonna let you hear what that sounds like. All right, so what are we looking at? What are we talking about? Here we go. Today's video is about the brand new Oticon Intent. So what's so brand new? Like other hearing aid brands, Oticon is really diving into this artificial intelligence, or AI, sort of aspect to the hearing aid experience. They're not actually calling it AI. They're using the term brain hearing, or brain hearing insights, or you may hear the term 4D sensors. But all of those terms are kind of loosely based around this AI aspect within these hearing aids. Now, what is the purpose of having all this smart technology within these hearing aids? First and foremost, it is to improve the user experience. The days of your audiologist guessing, or the user guessing what sort of presets they may need or what sorts of environments they're going to be in, those days are over. The new brain hearing technology and the 4D sensors are going to allow users to just naturally acclimate or naturally attune their hearing aids to their environment. The 4D or brain hearing technology will actually sense and register head movement and body movement to determine what the user is trying to hear. And in doing so, it will manipulate the microphones and the sensors within the hearing aids to better help you, the user, hear what you need and want to hear. The brain hearing and the 4D sensors and all of this technology is all part of the Deep Neural Network 2.0, as well as the More Sound Intelligence 3.0. For those of you that have been watching for a while, I did review the Oticon Reels previously and was superbly impressed by the deep neural network that was in those hearing aids. And spoiler alert, I am still superbly impressed by the deep neural network that is in these hearing aids. The second thing that is new that we're going to talk about is the size. There is a noticeable trend in this generation of hearing aids where size matters, right? But not in the way you think. Everyone is trying to go smaller. They're trying to be more discreet. They're trying to be lighter. They're trying to be more comfortable. They are trying to be more ergonomic for the user. These Oticon Intent hearing aids are in fact Oticon's smallest and most sleek hearing aid to date. So let's start with a little unboxing of sorts, shall we? Those of you that are familiar with Oticon know they come in this gray box. I like gray. Gray is my favorite. This box at the moment is currently wildly empty, but here is what you get in the box. You're going to get a charging base. Your hearing aids go right in these slots. They are colored and labeled so that you don't get confused as to which one goes in which hole. And there is a USB-C charging port, which you guys know I love that. That's my favorite, right? If you ever lose a cable or a cable breaks, you can replace it. The cable is always the weakest point in a charging system. So having the ability to replace it will increase the longevity and the lifespan of your charging accessories. Speaking of cable, right? You get a pretty long, substantial cable with a charging brick. You're also gonna get domes and you're gonna get wax guards. In addition to the charging case, you're also gonna get, oh, I love this, my favorite little travel case. This does not charge. This is not a premium accessory. This is simply a nice little clamshell case with a microfiber and a cleaning tool that will protect your hearing aids when you're out and about and they're not in your ears. Finally, the most important thing in the box is the hearing aids themselves. Well, I'm gonna show you, right? So these are smaller in size. They are a little thicker than usual. So I'm gonna try my best to kind of show you what that looks like. So here we go. These are the Oticon Intent hearing aids. You've got one button on the back. You can see it's a little bit thicker than normal, which I'm kind of okay with. I will say the added thickness, especially if you are a glasses wearer, the added thickness does take some getting used to. When I first put them on, it did kind of feel like they were pushing the tops of my ears out a little bit, but that quickly went away, right? That weird feeling of I'm not used to this quickly became a feeling of I'm used to this, I don't even notice it, everything is fine. After the initial shock of having the added thickness in width behind my ears, I did feel like every time I put them on, I didn't even notice they were there. They're very light, they're very comfortable, they're very ergonomic. Overall, I give a very, very high rating to the ergonomics and shape and size of these hearing aids. They do come in a variety of colors, some that match skin tone, some that match hair color, others that are just cool colors like this graphite gray that I have. So you ultimately, you get to choose which one you want and which one kind of fits your lifestyle best. If you are looking to be as discreet as possible, not only is the reduced size and comfort and ergonomics going to help that, but you can also pair it with a color that will blend into either your skin tone or your hair. Furthermore, good news for the hat wearers, I can safely say that the amount of noise that is produced when your hat rubs against the tops of the hearing aids is very, very, very minimal. It takes a lot to get that sort of noise to occur with these Oticon Intents. Now that we have talked about the physical appearance and the items that are in the box, let's talk about performance. I had my hearing aids fitted in New York City. As you may have seen in a previous video, New York City really seems to be a rough and tumble spot to test hearing aids immediately after being fitted. So I had the audiologist fit my hearing aids based off of my audiogram. It was an initial fitting, so we didn't get too deep into the custom fine tuning. I picked some presets. We talked about levels of sound, how the audiologist sounded while he was speaking to me. We went over this basic fitting. And then after the basic fitting and answering any questions I had, I was out on the streets of New York. And here is where the most impressive thing happened. There's this thing with your ear. It's called the pinna effect. The pinna effect is responsible for your brain and your ear working together to determine where a sound is coming from based off of sound waves. And it uses this thing called the pinna that's in your ear. So essentially, when you hear a sound, the thing that makes you go, ooh, it's over there, is because of the pinna effect. On almost all of the other hearing aids I have tried, the pinna effect is not tremendous. I can hear sounds. I can have a semi-basic understanding of sort of what direction they're coming from, but it's nothing specific and it's nothing as good as your natural ear. Now here's the amazing thing. I walked out the front door of this audiologist's office. I took one step onto the sidewalk in New York City and I heard a dog bark and I knew exactly where that dog was. That dog was about 40 degrees to my right across the street. And as soon as that dog barked, I looked and saw immediately where that was coming from and knew the exact location of that dog. With other hearing aids, I could not say the same. I might have a general idea there's a dog in the area and there is a dog barking, but I'd have to rely on my eyes to tell me where it was coming from. In this situation, I did not have to rely on my eyesight. I reacted based off of my hearing. And I think that 4D sensors and that brain hearing and the deep neural network had a lot to do with that natural pinna effect being implemented in these hearing aids. The next thing I was able to test out while walking in the streets of New York was the wind noise, right? I'm in an open air environment, I'm walking between buildings, I'm walking in alleyways, there's gonna be wind, I'm gonna hear it. Or so I thought. Most hearing aids, wind noise is kind of just a thing you have to live with. Brain hearing, 4D sensors, deep neural network, kicked in immediately and there was no wind noise. I was pleasantly surprised, right? That was not something I expected to have happen. I expected to have to deal with it like any other hearing aid I would wear, but it just never really happened. I mean, in extreme wind, yeah, of course, like, or if I hit it at a super weird angle, yeah, I'd hear the wind noise with these Oticons, but I would say 95% of the time when I'm outside, there is no wind noise. The AI is doing a fantastic job controlling that wind noise and not letting it get pumped into my ears. I had a couple different presets set up, restaurant mode, live music, that sort of thing. It just so happens that I have a dinner set up that night after I get fitted. So as usual, got fitted, went home, went to a dinner in a restaurant, turned on restaurant mode, 2 thumbs up, fantastic. I could hear the conversation. I could hear other things going on around me, but they weren't the focus. The focus was really who I was pointed at, who I was looking at, and who I was having a conversation with. Now, keeping with the theme of performance and quality, let's dive into the audio quality. The audio quality of the hearing aids themselves is impeccable. Even with the most basic first fitting, the audio quality was spectacular, right? It wasn't too high pitched, it wasn't very tinny, it sounded full and rich and very natural in my ears. I'm sure that with more fittings and more fine tuning, I could get these to sound even better than they currently do. Music quality. So let's talk about live music. Let's talk about the radio. Let's talk about speakers. Let's talk about in the car, whatever. Amazing. In other hearing aids I've used, there's always a potential for there to be some sort of wishy-washy or fading in and fading out, or kind of higher volume, lower volume, sort of in and out. That issue does not exist with the Oticon Intent. Everything is flat and natural and responsive and accurate while you are listening to any sort of live music, whether that be a concert, the radio, in your car, from speakers, whatever. Let's talk about audio quality when you are using this as a Bluetooth streaming device. The Bluetooth streaming quality is fantastic, and I think that's in part due to the Bluetooth LE audio that's built into these hearing aids. The LE stands for low energy, but I think it also might have something to do with the high performance and the high quality of the streaming. If you're listening to an audiobook, or if you're listening to some sort of a podcast where it's human voices, the audio streaming quality is actually really solid. It's nice and rich. There's some low end to it. There's definitely high end to it. It's a very pleasant experience when it's the human voice. However, as I've said in other reviews, hearing aids are not headphones. Hearing aids do not have the ability to deliver the low-end response that a headphone would give you. So if you're listening to some music, it's going to sound thin and it might sound tinny. It's not great. It's not going to be headphones. Don't expect that. But what you can expect is something that will sound decent. Finally, let's talk about phone calls. Not all hearing aids are built the same when it comes to phone calls and audio quality. I can tell you right now, I've used hearing aids that the audio quality for phone calls is horrible. That is not the case with the Oticon Intent. I did some sort of techie cool stuff where I recorded a phone call just so I could let you hear what that phone call sounded like. Before we jump into this phone call, it is only my voice. There are no phone numbers that are going to be identified. No one is talking on the other end. You are just going to hear my voice as it would sound on a phone call. So let's give that a listen.
All right, so here we go. We are going to test the call quality on the Oticon Intent. Right now I'm inside my house. I got dishwasher going. I got the fan going. A little bit of door open action with the outside. But right now I'm going to step outside, and we're going to see if this sounds any different, either better or worse. So right now I'm outside. Not too much wind, so you're not going to hear a lot of wind noise. Maybe a little bit of rain noise in the background. So let me know if this sounds better, worse, the same. And you will judge it, and I will judge it, and we'll come to a resolution.
As a little bit of extra anecdotal evidence, my partner has expressed to me that these sound the best when we're on the phone. So that should tell you something about the phone audio quality with these Oticon Intent hearing aids. Oticon is also happy to announce that the improved rechargeability on these hearing aids is top notch. These hearing aids have more power and more battery life than ever, and come with a 33% shorter charging time to charge them from empty to full. Now let's talk about connectivity. Was it easy for me to set these up on my phone? Did I need help? No, I didn't need any help. It was super easy. These hearing aids connected to my iPhone using a made for iPhone Bluetooth standard or protocol, which made the pairing seamless. Not only was it easy to connect, but it was also really fast. And that is something that I will say is a +1 for Oticon. I do recall that in the previous Oticon video, there was somewhat of a hiccup when it came to the connectivity and connecting it to my phone, but now I can safely say that those issues are a thing of the past. Initializing the connection and maintaining the connection were not an issue. Everything is smooth and strong and perfect. Like everything else in this world, right? There's an app for that. However, this app is not a new app. It is the standard Oticon companion app. So if you are coming from an older Oticon hearing aid, it's the same app. It's the same experience. Except now they've actually added the Apple Watch feature as well, right? So I can now click in to the app on my Apple Watch and I can change volume levels, I can change preferences, I can change settings, I can change presets. I love it. I love me a good Apple Watch app. All right, so here is where the two different hats or two different experiences come in, right? So this is gonna be my general overall feelings about the hearing aids from two different perspectives. So here's Backwards Hat Nick. Backwards Hat Nick has never had hearing aids, needs them, never had an experience. He's just trying stuff out. Someone suggested the Oticon Intent and he bought them. Backwards Hat, new user Nick, is thoroughly impressed by the Oticon Intent. The ease of use, the high audio quality on both phone calls and music and live sound is fantastic. The shortened size with the little bit wider build is not really an issue because I don't have anything to compare it to, but I can tell you that they're super comfortable behind my ears, even with glasses. Oh, and a backwards hat. The charging base is pretty small. I love the USB-C wire that can be detached if I'm traveling or if I need to replace it. They charge super quick, and not only do they charge super quick, they last a very long time. Like, I'm talking, I get a full day's use out of these hearing aids. I love being able to hear where things are coming from and identify where that sound source is. I love the 4D technology, the 4D sensors, the brain hearing, the deep neural network 2.0. I love it all. It all helps me as a user to have my hearing back. As a first-time user, I love these things, right? They're fantastic. They would blow my mind at how good they are as a first-time user. Forward Hat Nick, who has used hearing aids before and has used Oticon hearing aids before, is still impressed. I'm not gonna lie, they're very good. The technology is great, the form factor is amazing, the comfort is there, absolutely 100%. However, I don't think it is a huge improvement on the Oticon Real. The things that I do think are better, right? I think the Bluetooth connectivity is a dramatic improvement. The stability, the speed of connection, and the consistency of the connection has been greatly improved from the Oticon Real. Furthermore, remember that pinna effect thing I was telling you about? That is an improvement as well. Those 4D sensors and that brain hearing technology are certainly doing what they're supposed to be doing. There are not many, if any, premium accessories for these yet because they are so new. However, I am looking forward to, seeing if they're going to release a smart charger and a TV link and a, whatever. Overall, if you're a first-time user, you cannot go wrong with these Oticon Intent. If you are a current hearing aid user and you are looking to upgrade, I think these are a decent choice. I would not immediately go jump from the Oticon Real to the Oticon Intent. It's not that big of an upgrade. There are certain quality of life features that will be better, like I mentioned previously, but it's not a make or break, right? The Oticon Reals are still fantastic hearing aids. They're one of my favorite hearing aids of all time. That's undeniable. I just feel like the slight increase in performance with the Oticon Intent is not worth jumping ship from the Real to the Intent. However, if you're coming from a different brand of hearing aid, it might be worth the jump, especially if maybe the sound quality is not quite so good on the hearing aids you currently have, or maybe you're due for an upgrade. It's been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, however many years. Maybe it's just time to move on to something new and better. This is a fantastic option. So that is it for me for today for the Oticon Intent. I hope I have been able to give you a real user perspective, something that will help you to make a choice, or maybe just to get you to do some research or make a phone call to your audiologist, or even click on some links and go to Zip Hearing and check these out. At the end of the day, what is important to me is not necessarily that you go buy these hearing aids. What is important to me is that you are given an opportunity to regain your hearing and feel like you felt before you had hearing loss. So if you have any questions, type them down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you could, if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, right? Because we're going to be doing these videos more often, product reviews. We're going to do videos on certain subjects. We're going to answer questions. So please subscribe, stay tuned, give it a thumbs up, answer questions, ask questions down below in the comments. Click on any links that you may want to click on to go check out Zip Hearing. And lastly, thank you for checking this video out. Thank you for listening to all the words that are coming out of my mouth, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.